The International Criminal Court, ICC, has opened a field office in Kyiv as part of efforts to hold Russian forces accountable for potential war crimes. Kyiv has called for a special tribunal to be created to hold Moscow responsible for violations committed during its invasion launched on February 24, 2022. Ukraine's prosecutor general Andriy Kostin said the development marks a pivotal stride in the journey towards restoring justice, adding that cooperation with The Hague will be even more effective and efficient. The move comes after an international office to probe Russia for the war crime of aggression opened in The Hague in March, in what Kyiv has called a historic first step towards a tribunal for Moscow's leadership.
Ще один крок до подальшого зміцнення нашого партнерства. В Україні відкрився так званий польовий офіс Міжнародного кримінального суду. Це найбільше представництво МКС за межами Гааги.
Joining us to discuss this is legal practitioner and global affairs and political analyst Monday Ubani. Thank you very much for joining us. Ukraine says the ICC has opened a field office in Kyiv as part of efforts to hold Russian forces accountable for war crimes, potential war crimes. What do you make of this latest development?
Yeah, clearly this is a milestone in this particular war that has been raging between Ukraine and Russia. A lot of international Western nations have actually accused Russia of several war crimes, and then issue of crime against humanity, including issue of rape, torture, murder, and all manner of crimes against humanity that have been committed by Russia against Ukraine, and they have been actually calling for the prosecution of the president of Russia, that is Putin, for the war crime that he has allegedly committed against the citizens of Ukraine. So, for bringing this particular ICC now to be stationed in Ukraine for effective monitoring of the infraction against humanity is clearly something that is very commendable and is a milestone in the development of this war. And we're looking forward to having Russia actually be prosecuted, because several efforts have been made for this war to stop so that they can actually have this matter discussed on the round table to see how this matter will be resolved. But Russia has remained very recalcitrant and has continued to really encroach more into Ukraine and committing all manner of atrocities against the citizens of Ukraine. So this development is something that I consider very healthy and commendable.
In Ukraine agrees with you. He has described it as a journey towards restoring justice and holding Moscow responsible for violations committed during its invasion. With over 10,000 people killed, do you see the likes of Putin and his war generals tried in the nearest future?
As I speak to you now, there has been a warrant of arrest that has been put on the head of Putin. And of course, those who have signed the treaty that governs ICC. Any nation that has signed the treaty is a potential country where arrest or Putin can be made. There was this time that Putin wanted to visit, I think it was China, one of the Asian countries, and of course China has signed the treaty, and the issue was whether he will be arrested, when he goes there. I think the same thing with South Africa. And so there is a warrant of arrest for his arrest to be prosecuted by ICC if he ventures out of Russia. And so I am looking forward, if we really want to believe this ICC, that Russian authorities, including Putin and some of his aides, should in future be tried for crime against humanity. If you know how many lives have been lost, as you have rightly pointed out, and the kind of crime that is going on there daily, the kind of women and children being killed and murdered and brutalized, and some of them being raped, and some of them being deported to Russia in such a manner that shows high level of inhumanity on the side of Russian authorities. You will agree with me that the future trial of Russian president and his cohort is something that the entire world should welcome and heave a sigh of relief if eventually the trial starts.
On the other side of the divide, there are people who have argued that Russia was only protecting its territory when Ukraine decided to join NATO. which could, they believe, expose Moscow to external forces, especially America. What is your opinion on this?
I don't agree that what Russia is doing presently in the manner of crime committed against Ukraine has to do with the issue of Ukraine to joining NATO. If it is issue of Ukraine joining NATO, that there must have been a proper method of approach, a manner of dealing with the issue and resolve it in such a manner that shows, a nation that is humane. There is no sign of, being humane in the treatment that is presently being going on. The children and women that are being killed daily, civilian areas that are being bombed, the manner of murder and rape that is going on is all this geared towards not allowing Ukraine to join NATO. I don't think that is the way to prosecute such an objective. There must have been a more civilized approach that Russia should have adopted in this regard. Even though I may not agree, because any country has a right to join whosoever it wants to be. But the point is the manner of approach. What Russia has done in terms of killing, what Russia has done in terms of invasion and murder and rape and deportation and all that war crimes that Russia has committed in this particular venture is something that nobody should comment and probably give a good reason or justify.
So at this point, what steps do you think is necessary for both countries as well as the international community towards ending the war and bloodshed? Because ending that war is imperative.
Clearly imperative, and I think that Russia should at this juncture listen to the voice of reason and try to have this matter resolved on the round table. After all the killings, this matter will still be resolved on the round table, but at what cost? So it will really still end at the top table. I think that the earlier Russia agrees that this matter should be discussed, the other nations will come together and say, look, let's have this matter discussed on the issue of whether Ukraine has a right to join NATO, and then let the matter come to that, and everyone should effectively participate in resolution. But the killing that is presently going on involving children and women is something that anyone should not in any way contemplate. So my thinking is that we still have to approach this matter by going to the round table to discuss and resolving the issues amicably.
We hope to see that sooner than later. Thank you very much, Andriy Ubani, for giving us your time. We appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.